guys, welcome back to Redbanditracing. Welcome back to the channel. We got a versus going on. We got the Traxxas X-Maxx 8S belted versus the Traxxas SLEDGE. Now, I don't know what iteration this is, 5th or 6th, but this is the 8S belted. For this video, we have the non-belted 8S rated tires on. The SLEDGE is stock. We're gonna go over some specs, what kind of batteries you can use, and then we're gonna go out, we're gonna race them head to head. We're gonna see how they handle. We're gonna hit the ramp real hard, see which one's durable, see which one comes out on top, and then you guys vote down below which one you guys thought won. All right, this body is extremely easy to take off as well as it is to put back on. You can do it one-handed, extremely easy. We got the body reinforced. Now, as far as the body armor goes, this thing's been taking a beating. It's starting to come off the front and the back. These bodies aren't gonna last too long, but it's because this truck is really heavy. Batteries are really easy to install on this. We are going to be running the Traxxas 6700 milliamp 4S. These go on the side. I typically have the wires on each side pointing out. That way they don't get damaged. Really easy to put in. Really secure. We have not had one pop out. Attaches right here. I always keep it right about there. I don't have these facing inwards. That way they have room on the outside. All right, as for the specs, this is a 1200 XL Millennium motor. Now you guys may see under the specs on the box, it actually says 1275, but if you look up the actual motor, this is a 1200. It's got the VXL 8S ESC. Now, as far as the gears go, the stock gears are 1554 for the pinion and the spur gear. Currently, it has a 2046, which is your high speed. Now, for the transmission gears, stock gears, now the center diff and input gear, stock is a 4724. The gears that I put in are a 5120. Now Traxxas with the 4724, they did that to compensate for the extra weight for the belted tires. If you're going to use the high-speed gearing, I do highly suggest going to the 5120 ratio for the center diff. That way you avoid overheating. This truck weighs 19 pounds. It's 30.7 inches long, 21.3 inches wide. It's got the GTX coilover shocks. Currently, the stock shocks had 30 weight in them. What I did was I upped them to 60. The center diff has 20 million weight. The front and rear diffs, the front is 10K. The rear diff is 30K. I went and upped those by 10, so the front's 20 and the rear is now 30. Now the upgrades we did do is we put the RPM arms on the front because we broke the front. We've broken a couple of the toe links already. These are real thin, as you can see me just pressing on it. As far as the shocks go, we didn't put the blue anodized aluminum shock collars on, still got the stock ones. Haven't had any problems with it, so we're not gonna swap them out just yet. I've already broken a front upper and a rear upper bulkhead. Those got replaced. If that happens again, I'll probably swap them out with aluminum. It does have the stock servo. It is pretty weak for this truck. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna up it to the new X-Maxx servo that just came out, which is pushing well over 600 ounces of torque. So we're gonna be installing that in a later video, but you can run this on 6S and 8S. We haven't tried it on 4S yet, but I'm pretty sure it handles just fine. But with the weight of this truck, you're gonna wanna run this thing on 8S. As far as the Traxxas SLEDGE, the body has 2 pins that go in the back. These clips right here, just spread them apart, just like on the new Slash. Goes on and off, just fine. What I like about this body is it's extremely strong. Whoa. That's the first time. You guys see that come off? Ooh, look at that. It's actually getting kind of weak. I think it's getting beat up. This never comes off. I've pulled this thing, I've bashed this thing. The body's never coming off. I think the clipless is starting to get weak. I may have to switch this out. I do have a new body, so I'm not gonna use a new body just yet, but that's probably why it's coming off on the back. But putting it on, extremely easy. This body usually stays on really tight. Now, as far as the specs on this goes, as you can see, there were some modifications. This does come with the 2000 kV motor, the VXL 6S, so it does run on 6S and 4S. The batteries going real easy. I love the tray on this. I put the wires through the inside, that way they're more secure, and the batteries fit just fine. Just like that. If you wanted added security, you can put clips on the sides to hold the battery in, but honestly, I don't think I've ever had the batteries fly out on this, but I have broken some clips, so it does take quite a beating. The servo is the 2280. This pushes out over 600 ounces of torque. This thing is a beast. We're gonna end up putting something like this on the X-Maxx. As far as the gears go, this is running a 1352 stock What I did, I went one down on the pinion, so now it's a 1252 just to give it a little bit more torque. This truck weighs 12.7 pounds, 23.7 inches long, 18.1 inches wide. It's got the stock GT Max shocks. I'm running 80 weight in the front, 70 in the rear. Stock was 60 weight in the front and 50 in the rear. So I went up a little bit because I know we were gonna heavy bash this. The diff has 50K in the front and 50K in the rear with 20 million weight in the center. As you can see, I did install the M2C motor mount. This fixed a lot of my gear meshing issues, as you guys seen from previous videos. But I went through a lot of spur gears and a lot of pinions on this truck. As far as everything else goes, everything else is just cosmetic. I went ahead and changed the shock tubes, the control arm inserts, the chassis. I went away from the blue and put the gray one on. Still got the stock Sledgehammer tires. I did install the M2C rear shock tower. I'm probably going to end up doing that with the front. The front crossbars, I'm probably going to replace with M2C as well because I've already bent one set. I've gone through 2 or 3 axles on this only because I've broken one and bent 2 other ones, so it hasn't been that bad. As far as the toe links go, I haven't bent one yet. Haven't bent a toe link yet. This thing's been pretty beefy and really, really durable. Haven't broken a hub or anything like that. Haven't broken a control arm. I did damage one of the front control arms, and that's only because the pin bent and broke. Got the green wing on there, original body. This thing's a tank. All right, that'll do it for the specs. Let's get out there, let's take the ramp out, let's race these, let's hit the ramp, see which one can do some cool tricks, see which one's faster, and which one overall handles better. All right, we're gonna do some drag racing. We're just gonna go from home plate out to the field, and from out to the field back. We're just gonna see which one overall is faster. As you can see, there's a huge difference between these two trucks. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna race from the fence to the grass line, and then we're gonna line up out on the grass and race to the grass line to the field. That way we can test how they are in dirt and how much power they have on the grass, which is a true test. Hopefully they don't collide and we don't have to do this multiple times. Ready, set, go. Okay, that X-Maxx has way too much power. I can't even keep it down. We're gonna have to try that again. All right, so I'm probably gonna have to throttle it down just a little bit, which is gonna give the Sledge a little edge because the Sledge, way more stable. All the X-Maxx wants to do is do a wheelie. So let's try that again. Ready, set, go. Oh my God. All right, so, wow. Okay, the X-Maxx does have the power, but I think the Sledge won, right? I think the Sledge hit the grass first. Okay, so I'm just gonna give it to the Sledge on this one because I can't keep the X-Maxx down. On the grass, I don't think it's gonna fare too well either, so we're gonna give it a little bit more run back. All right, so we got him way out there. Hopefully that's enough time for the X-Maxx to keep it down, but I'm guessing it's gonna do a wheelie all the way down this field. So, ready, set, go. Okay, we were halfway back and then I hit the gas and it just popped a wheelie. I can't keep this thing down. The X-Maxx is a beast, but the Sledge is just fast. And with the high-speed gearing, you can get that Sledge to do 70 plus miles an hour, whereas the X-Maxx, you can put the high-speed gearing, which it's in there, with the belted tires, you're doing maybe 55 plus. So gonna have to give this round to the Sledge. All right, as far as stability goes, ooh, I almost got a bicycle there. I think I can get a bicycle. Ooh, it's gonna pop a tire. This thing's plane. All right, helicopter. Yep, I see a tire coming off. Woo! Bicycle. Let's check that tire real quick. Tire's already coming off. That's not good. All of them are almost coming off. Woof. This thing's got too much power, guys. So we're just gonna mess around a little bit. It's a wheelie machine. Pretty sure I can get a bicycle out of it. Nah, see, it needs a better servo. I can't get it to tilt. Yeah, I can't get it to tilt.
Very nice rotation. Yeah, you can hear the tires, all 4 of them, Sound like they're about to come off. Chassis slapped the ramp. The X-Maxx has a lot of power, and once we got that problem fixed, the gearing backflip's really easy. Double backflip. Gets to landing. Ooh. Tough landing on the left side. Oh, that tire. I don't know how much longer you have with those tires.
Yeah, not much.
That right rear is looking bad. Ooh. Really tough hit on the sidewalls. All right, so the GoPro just overheated, which is pretty normal. GoPros overheat quite often if you're filming for long periods of time, but try to hurry up. And after some inspection off camera, there is a bent axle on the X-Maxx. That left side we saw on that sidewall hit, the axle did bend. Ooh. Thought he was gonna miss the ramp for a little bit. Ooh, that was loud. What are you doing? He's going for the ramp. No body. It's risky. Oh, stop. Something just crunched when you broke.
All right, so that'll do it for the X-Maxx. Worked out well, but we do have a bent rear wheel drive shaft right there. That bent pretty bad. We're gonna have to bang that back into place because this happens quite a bit because the truck's heavy. Tires, undone. So we're gonna have to clean these out, probably vent them so it expels all the dirt that's probably in so we can save the tire. But we're probably gonna put the built-in ones back on it. Let's get the sledge out here now. We do have more carnage. I looked up here and I saw the shock tower was separating right there. Why? Because the front shock tower broke. Split right there. So, ooh, that's not a good break. We're gonna have to replace the shock tower, guys. But as far as the back goes, ooh, I stressed out the rear, but it didn't break. Right there, I stressed it out. So it's not broken, so we're not gonna replace that, but we're gonna have to replace the front. So, X-Maxx again, taking a beating. Sledge has great stability. It's not easy to flip this thing over. A lot of speed. A lot of speed. And the turning radius is really good with that new servo.
So let's soaking up the landings. Probably the best basher we have. Should mention that the Sledge is a low center of gravity chassis car, so it will bounce. Flip. Ooh, right on the wing. Huge air. Try to get hit. That was a weird trick. Kind of a little tail whip flip. Did you miss the ramp? That was a long Maverick. It was upside down for probably 10-20 feet. What? I think the car saved itself last second not to land on the sidewalk. Ooh. Gets a save.
See how fast I can get to come back out. High speed wheelie. All right, so as far as durability for me, I gotta give it to the Sledge still. The Sledge has had a few breaks here and there, But the X-Maxx, even after this, has some damage. So I can't say the X-Maxx is tougher than the Sledge, which I think it should be the opposite, but it's not. The X-Maxx will get tougher as it goes on. We'll replace a couple more parts and get this thing running really nice. The Sledge took some time to get there. We had a lot of mesh issues. We fixed those with the M2C motor mount, and we didn't have any more issues after that. Just a couple of axles that were bent, but that's really common with steel axles. So as far as speed, I gotta give it to Sledge. The Sledge, oh my God, that thing is so lightning fast, as you saw coming in and out of home, sliding into home plate into the fence. The X-Maxx, it's not built for speed. It's not built for speed. It's built for strength. It's built for jumping around. It's built for bashing, going off-road. So those are two different categories for these cars. As far as tricks goes, I'm gonna have to give it to the X-Maxx. The Sledge is a little bit harder to double backflip, but I know I can change that with a few tweaks. So I gotta give it to the Sledge for tricks. Bicycles, it can do bicycles all day long, but I gotta get rid of that servo first. Repairing, I gotta give it to the Sledge. The Sledge is really easy to repair. I replaced the axle, cross pin, and a control arm fairly quickly, whereas the X-Maxx, if I have to replace a bulkhead or something like that, half this truck's come apart. If I have to replace that shock tower, the hinge pins, all kinds of stuff still has to come out to replace those. But because the parts are bigger, it doesn't mean necessarily it's harder. It's actually easier to work on. But as far as repair, I would still go with the Sledge. Now, as a price point, the Sledge is $769.95 now because they added belted tires. It originally was $699.95. The X-Maxx, the 8S belted, is $1,099.95. And that also comes with belted tires, obviously, but wow, I don't know. The Sledge should have stuck at $700. I think any more than that, I think Traxxas is offering a little bit too much for that. But the X-Maxx, $1,100, I mean, it's worth it, but I want to see this thing go farther and longer without damaging anything to justify $1,100. So if you guys are looking at these two to buy, that's a tough decision, guys. The Sledge is still my favorite. The X-Maxx is right behind it, but the Sledge has just been more durable, more fun. I can take it anywhere and race anything. It's got so much speed, great handling. We got Armor D boots for it, and those things work great with it. The X-Maxx, I love the non-belted, but I also like the belted now, mainly just because, as you can see, the tires are coming unglued. So that's one bad thing about having non-belted tires. So we're gonna get those fixed. So again, I'm gonna choose the Sledge over this Versus, but you guys leave a comment down below. Which one did you guys like more? Which one did you guys think that won? And which one do you guys just prefer to like more? I know there's a poll out there right now between the Maxx and the X-Maxx. I think the Maxx pulled ahead. No? Maybe the Maxx pulled ahead? Last time I checked, but maybe the X-Maxx pulled ahead. But man, at one point they were 50-50. So still like the X-Maxx, but I'm gonna go with the Sledge in this Versus. You guys let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys check out our Patreon channel. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. See you guys on the next one.